Thank you very much, and welcome to TNT. And of course, it is that time of the year in which we will visit with some goblins and little creatures milling about the neighborhoods. With that in mind, it is our pleasure to introduce to you now TNT's very own Ghostbuster, Lord Alfred Hayes.
How do you do? I really don't know how to answer that as a Ghostbuster, but I've seen a few ghosts in my time.
We will not have any ghosts here on TNT, I don't believe, but no doubt we will have all kinds of excitement. Sergeant Slaughter to join us.
Yes, and I'm looking forward especially to one of my favorite personalities, a new personality, Brutus Beefcake.
Yes, I understand he's going to take it off.
Yes.
Interesting. Also, to join us, as a matter of fact, Baron Mikhail Cicluna, a name from the past and certainly one of the greats in the World Wrestling Federation. And Johnny Valiant, himself a fabulous wrestler, now the manager of one Brutus Beefcake. That should also be an outstanding guest. But right now, we'd like to take you to some videotape footage. Many of you have seen bits and pieces of. A very short piece to remind you of a most unusual occurrence in which Sergeant Slaughter allowed us to visit Camp Cobra. We'll take you now and revisit some of the action that we saw not long ago with the one and the only Sergeant Slaughter.
Platoon, halt! Right, hey! Platoon, parade, hit!
Very nice, squad leader. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning!
It's very nice to see you here this morning. I'm glad to see you all are here on time. I respect people that are on time. And you all know what you're here for, don't you?
Yes, sir!
We're here for one thing, and that's America, isn't it?
Yes, sir!
What are we going to do with America? We're going to clean it up, aren't we?
Yes, sir!
We don't want any more Iranians around, do we?
No, sir!
We don't want the Russians invading us, do we?
No, sir!
You know the Cobra Corps stands for what?
America, sir!
That's right, correct, America. And that's what we want to do. We want to clean up America of all the trash. And that's what we're going to do starting today. And I'm glad to see you all could make it. I know you're all handpicked by myself and my squad leader. And we're all going to go through a rough, tough training camp. I know you've all been through a training camp already. That's how you got here. But now the real work starts. And if you can't make it, you're going to be shipped out. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir!
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir! Platoon, head, hot!
Very nice, squad leader, very nice. They look very good. What is your name, sir?
Coon, sir!
Coon, sir.
Yes, sir!
Why are you here, Coon?
America, sir!
Your name?
Schnitzel, sir!
Schnitzel.
Sir!
Where are you from, Schnitzel?
New York, sir!
You like America?
Yes, sir!
You love America?
Yes, sir!
You like Iran?
No, sir!
Okay, that's what I want to hear. You like Russia?
No, sir!
Your name, spit it out.
Coon, sir!
Coon?
Yes, sir!
What happened to your outfit, Coon?
I don't know, sir!
What happened to your shoes, Coon?
Lost them, sir!
What about your pants?
Bad news, sir!
Well, let's get this boy some pants. In fact, why don't you give me 20 push-ups while we're looking for your fatigues?
Yes, sir!
Get down and snap them out. Your name?
Vegas, sir!
Can't hear you.
Vegas, sir!
All right, that's what I like to hear, a guy with a big lung. The Russians say they're number one, is that true?
No, sir!
Who's number one?
America, sir!
Who's the best platoon in the United States of America?
Cobra, sir!
All right, the Cobra Corps.
Yes, sir!
All right.
17, 18,
Okay,
19, 20.
back in the rank and attention. Okay, squad leaders, show me what they can do.
Yes, sir! Push up, count 2, drop, ready? Good! Up, half! Up, half! Up, half! Up, half!
That, ladies and gentlemen, a review of an inside look of some of the actions of what many have termed as truly indeed America's greatest living hero today. With that in mind, we would like to introduce to you the one and indeed the only Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge, how are you?
see you.
Welcome to TNT. Lord Alfred Hayes.
Oh,
Have a seat if you
At
would.
ease out there.
Thank you. Sarge, your activities are far-reaching in and out of professional wrestling. We just saw a bit of some of the activities that out in, I guess, a rather clandestine Camp Cobra. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? That was obviously an elite bunch of men.
Well, I wanted to find a place that was hot. I wanted to find a place that was private. So I've been all over the country, and finally I found a place for Camp Cobra, and I'm not going to tell anybody where it is because I don't want any visitors. I want it to be kept quiet and secret, especially from the Russians and the Iranians.
Well, now, these men, paramilitary or whatever they may be, obviously it's something different than what we have considered in the past in terms of the honorary Cobra Corps, in which we have a legion of fans, really, that follow you. Many almost worship you. But this is something different, and it was, I would assume that these men are trained for special reasons.
Well, they're trained to fight for America, and they wanted to see what it was like to be in the Cobra Corps. I always say that the Cobra Corps was the toughest and, like you said, the elite. And I got so many cards and letters and phone calls from young men that wanted to go through the Cobra Corps. So I put a camp together, and I said, well, if you've got the guts, come on down. So we did it, and they all made it through, but none of them really impressed me enough to get into pro wrestling.
No, I consider that something else again. As far as your activity is concerned in professional wrestling, I mean, it seems to me that there's very little time. You must be one of the busiest men in the world today. I don't know how you can possibly maintain your schedule.
It's unbelievable, Vince. Not only is the schedule tough, but wherever I go, people recognize me. Wherever I go, I see the camouflage, and I always recognize people with the camouflage on and carrying their American flags and their signs, USA, and even if they don't have one, all of a sudden they make one up. I travel around in a camouflage limousine, and it's easy to spot me. And people, as they go down the highway, will go out of their way to make a sign USA #1, which I'm very proud to be an American. I'm very proud to know that the people would take the time to make a sign USA #1 because that's what I'm here for. I'm fighting for America, and it's just great. And the schedule I have is awfully tough, but I love doing it.
Well, I'll tell you, the fans love Sergeant Slaughter. There's no doubt about that, and the Cobra Corps grows by leaps and bounds every single day. We're going to return with Sergeant Slaughter, and we're going to take you back to a special matchup and also a different side of Sergeant Slaughter's Cobra Corps. The youngsters will really pile into the ring. We'll be right back with more TNT. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, with Lord Alfred Hayes and, of course, Sergeant Slaughter here with us. And, Sergeant, in a few minutes, we're going to be taking a look at one of your many, many matches in the World Wrestling Federation. And it seems to me that, if anything, the competition is getting tougher.
You're telling me, everybody's looking to knock off a top performer, a top wrestler in professional wrestling today, especially in the World Wrestling Federation, where all the top wrestlers are today. And I'm one of the ones that they're trying to knock off. So I've got wrestlers from Johnny Rods all the way up to the Iron Sheik trying to take me out of the picture to get them some matches with Hulk Hogan, who's the champion. So to get to Hulk Hogan, they almost have to go through me, and it's a big challenge for me every time I get in the ring.
It's like attempting to go through the Maginot Line, I would think.
Yes, well, by the time they get to Hogan, I think they're pretty well beat up.
Sarge, there's the most unusual glasses you have on.
Well, yes, these are glasses that were given to me by a little boy by the name of Johnny in Atlanta, Georgia, and his father was lost in the Vietnam War, and he gave me these in remembrance of his father. So every time I get a chance to wrestle or be on a show like this, I try to wear these glasses, but if he doesn't mind, I like to take them off for a while.
They have some sort of insignia on them. What is that?
Yeah, well, they're stars and stripes. I don't know if the camera can get a close-up of those or not, but they have the stars and stripes on them, and Johnny...
I think you're a little difficult to see through.
Yeah, well, when you're looking through the stars and stripes, you can see about anything you want.
Very good. We'd like to take you to some footage now with Sergeant Slaughter in action. And As I said before, it's certainly no easy task for the Sarge anytime he steps into the ring, but one thing that he can count on almost always, and that is the fans will be behind him 1,000%. Let's take you now to ringside, Sergeant Slaughter in action.
This contest is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the ring at this time from Marion, Ohio, weighing 246 pounds, Charlie Fulton. And his opponent, from South Carolina, weighing 296 pounds, Sergeant Slaughter.
There's a little lady from the Cobra Corps. Yes, indeed. You talk about your great American heroes. At the top of the list has to be this extraordinary athlete. Sergeant Slaughter. You bet he is. The Sarge has many buddies. A salute to Old Glory. Sergeant Slaughter saying hello to so many of his fans about ringside. And a special hello Sergeant Slaughter poster there. That's quite a likeness, isn't it, Bruno?
Indeed it is. I'll tell you, I'm amazed every time I see this man step into the ring. Never seen so many flags, so many pictures. People just love this guy because, of course, he is right now, he is telling him America's #1, and fans love that. And, of course, he's right. America is #1.
Sergeant Slaughter. There he is. Sarge now ready to lock up with Charlie Fulton. And the Sarge, knowing full well Charlie Fulton, the veteran, is going to give him a real run for his money. Slaughter keeping a keen eye on Charlie Fulton. Jutting jaw of the former DI. He is something. To the ropes now, and referee asks for the clean break and gets one. You don't always get one when you're in there with Sarge because he'll trade punches with anyone. And certainly quite the aggressor in his own right is Sergeant Slaughter. Slaughter continuing to twist now. Nice maneuver by Slaughter, ramming the knee to the shoulder. Listen to these fans.
USA, USA. Boy, there he is, the Sergeant. He saluted while he had his opponent. He just got caught with a shot right in the jaw, and that stunned him momentarily, followed with an elbow right in the back of the neck. A shot in the midsection, and right now Sergeant is in a little wee bit of trouble.
But look at that. Slaughter trading blows with Charlie Fulton. Slaughter getting the best of Fulton on that last exchange. Fulton backpedaling a bit now. Locking back up, Fulton with a standing side headlock. Sarge shoves him to the corner, lifts the knee to the midsection, and whips him out. No, nice reversal. Whoa, my, Sarge hit the bull, look at that. Down to the canvas, Sergeant Slaughter. He went down like a ton of bricks. Charlie Fulton trying to set up the Sarge, to the rope now. No, missing with the elbow. Slaughter with a cobra, with a cannon. Sergeant Slaughter now. Trying to set up Charlie Fulton for the Cobra clutch. And sinks it down in.
Sarge sinking the hole deeper and deeper. The Cobra clutch on Charlie Fulton. And Fulton going down, and he almost is going out. That's it. Yes, sir. You don't mess around too much with this man. Sergeant Slaughter. We'll get the official decision.
Here is your winner, Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, there's a little inductee, no doubt, in the Cobra Corps. There are many of them here. Sergeant Slaughter on to victory.
All right, back with the Sarge now. And as we said before, there are many different aspects of the Cobra Corps, one honorary and one that we saw earlier at the beginning of the show, which is a very, very serious endeavor on the part of Sergeant Slaughter. But it's the honorary Cobra Corps that has legions and legions of fans, and young and old, male, female. It just grows by leaps and bounds, Sarge.
It's unbelievable. You know, like you said, they come from the smallest to the oldest. I've had people 97 years old want to know how to join the Cobra Corps, and it's available to anybody out there, female, males. It doesn't matter to me. It's just great to have such a great following, and it helps you a lot when you're in the ring.
I'm sure of that, and I don't know of anyone else in professional wrestling that has the kind of following that you have.
Well, I don't think there's anybody in the whole world of sports that has a following that I do. It's not only in wrestling arenas, but it's all over the country. It's on the streets and the restaurants, clothing stores, wherever I go, people just mob me. It's unbelievable.
You are a rather distinguished-looking individual.
Well, it's hard to hide this jaw.
Very difficult. Let's take you down to some more videotape footage of Sergeant Slaughter, and we'll take a little closer look at some of the younger members of the honorary Cobra Corps, some of the new inductees, perhaps. Let's go to the tape. I'm sure that in Madison Square Garden, this was not normally be the case.
No, it was unbelievable. Like I was just speaking of, they come from the rafters just to get a touch of Sergeant Slaughter, to just even show me that they have an American flag or they have a USA sign or any type of a picture or a poster that they made up. And it's just great because not only do I think I'm the #1 American, but so do they. And it's just great. All the camouflage and everyone saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, and never have I seen it like that before. Hear it, listen to this. It's great.
Well, Sarge, let me ask you, there are many individuals in professional wrestling that criticize your patriotism. It seems to me that there is no one individual, I would venture to say perhaps not even the President of the United States, that can bring out this overt patriotism, and people, no one, I don't think perhaps ever has been able to bring that kind of display, that kind of emotion to the surface, and no one's ever been able to do it quite like you, and there are many that criticize you for it in some fashion.
Well, there are always a lot of critics no matter what you do. When I wrestled as the so-called mean, tough guy, I was the drill instructor, and everybody didn't like the way I wrestled. Well, I still went for America. And when I stood up for America, everybody got behind me. I showed them that I had a heart for America. And if I might be able to say this right now, is the election day is coming right around the corner. And I'd like everybody out there to go register. If they haven't already, register and make sure you vote. No matter who you vote for, at least get out and vote. Because be a proud American and back your country and keep it the free country it is. And it'd be great if everybody could get out and vote.
Well, which leads to an obvious question. Sarge, I've seen a lot of banners that says, vote for Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, well, people have asked me to run for President of the United States. Well, I guess that might be in the future, but right now I just want to clean up America of Iranians and Russian wrestlers, and
Well, they're hot on your trail. There's no doubt on that. And
sure
what
is.
big monsters.
But someday I'd like to meet the president, whoever it may be, and have a little chit chat. Maybe I could be his vice president or something. Maybe sergeant at arms.
Sergeant at arms, I'm sure. Whatever capacity, Sarge, I'm sure you would be welcomed wholeheartedly. And we would like to invite you to hang around, if you would, for later on with perhaps a few surprises and things of that nature.
Sure,
and,
I'd love to.
Your presence is always welcomed on TNT.
Thank you.
Sarge, thanks for
It's great to
joining
be
us.
here, and I've been looking forward to coming, and finally got here.
All right. Sergeant Slaughter, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, perhaps the greatest living American hero in the world today. He is something else. Sarge will join us later on, and we shall return with more TNT in just a moment. There have been many unusual individuals in professional wrestling, the World Wrestling Federation in particular. But the gentleman about whom we are to view momentarily is perhaps one of the most unusual you will ever see. His name is Brutus Beefcake. He is managed by a gentleman known as Luscious Johnny Valiant. And recently, Beefcake had the entire wrestling world on edge as to whom he would allow to manage him. He chose Luscious Johnny Valiant. We would like to take you now to some rather rare footage of Brutus Beefcake.
Just a little short resume of myself. I'm from New York City, and I have come down here tonight very graciously. Your host here has opened the doors for myself and my wrestler. I am a pro wrestler. I am a manager of wrestlers, and my man Brutus Beefcake tonight from Madison Square Garden, New York City, will be here tonight and do a little sachet for each and every one of you lovely ladies. We've selected a song or so that you may recognize. We have selected a song or so that you may be able to really get into the groove, so to speak. So when you hear that music popping, I want you girls to really get with it. And I have brought my man, my main man, Mr. Brutus Beefcake. All right, let's really hear it for him. Come on.
That is probably one of the most bizarre things we have ever had here on TNT. Nonetheless, Brutus Beefcake is different, most different indeed, both in and outside of the ring. And there we just saw Brutus doing his thing, I would suppose. And what we would like to do right now is to introduce to you live, yes indeed, luscious Johnny Valiant and Brutus Beefcake.
Oh, yeah, 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 Daddy-o. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all live right here.
Mr. Valiant, would you care to join us?
Oh, yeah,
on the
Benny,
set,
boy.
please?
Yeah, we'll
All
come
right.
right up here, my man.
Very good.
Coming right up.
Nice to have you here on TNT, Mr.
Always a
Beefcake.
pleasure.
Mr. Valiant, have a seat if you would,
Always a
please.
pleasure. Lord Alfred Hayes.
Brutus, how are you?
Look like a waiter. You all right, Al?
Yeah, but I'm not bringing you any drinks.
All righty, brother.
Brutus is a rather sizable individual, isn't he, actually?
He's, physically speaking, he is not exactly what you would consider to be a flyweight or a, You hear that, Vinny? That's not a rattlesnake. That is,
What is that, actually?
Bionic arm, it looks like to me.
That is, again,
That is my man, my main man right here, Brutus Beefcake. You know, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when the folk out there at the main event in Baltimore, Maryland open up their doors to let me come in there with my main man, Mr. Brutus Beefcake, and show each and everybody exactly what's happening in the World Wide Wrestling Federation. This guy's the hottest thing to hit the World Wide Wrestling Federation since they put a ring on in the Spectrum, since they put a ring in Madison Square Garden, since they put a ring coast to coast like boarding house toast. This guy is unbelievable.
And Mr. Valiant, if I may take exception that, obviously he's most unusual and quite talented, I guess you would say, in his own right, but has he really been tested yet in professional wrestling? I mean, has he...
Oh, Vince, come on. What do you mean he's been tested? You think I would ever put myself with a chump? You think I'd ever put myself on the line, my track record on the line, and ever initiate myself as a human being in the World Wide Wrestling Federation, make my reappearance in the World Wide Wrestling Federation with some chump?
No, we're not inferring that, actually, Mr. Valiant. It's just that Mr. Beefcake seems... has he been avoiding some of the more extraordinary talents in professional wrestling? No?
No. He's not avoiding nobody. Hey, we're here. His contract is highly negotiable. If there's anybody out there that would like to wrestle Brutus Beefcake, you go right ahead. And you bring that contract forward. I will review it. I will check it out. I will look into all the loopholes. And we have attorneys that will check it out, man, so to speak.
All right, again, Mr. Valiant, Brutus Beefcake no doubt will be put to the test in upcoming weeks. And how do you feel that Mr. Beefcake could have had perhaps anyone in the world to manage him? I mean, Arnold Skolin was interested in the contract, certainly Freddie Blassie, Lou Albano, Bobby the Brain Heenan. I mean, they were throwing money at him right and left. How did you land the contract?
Man's got good choice. Man's got good taste. The man knows talent. In other words, when I come down the aisle with Mr. Brutus Beefcake, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans of the World Wide Wrestling Federation, I'm not just coming down the aisle. I'm coming down there to oversee matters. I'm coming down there to lend my assistance. I'm coming down the aisle to say it's Brutus Beefcake versus whomever, but it's Johnny Valiant lurking, it's Johnny Valiant available, it's Johnny Valiant watching.
Well, now, how much do you credit your presence then with the phenomenal success of Brutus Beefcake?
I say it's a 50-50 deal. I say it's Brutus Beefcake's talent, it's Brutus Beefcake's physical prowess, it's Brutus Beefcake's presence, but it's also Johnny Valiant. It could be 25-50. It could be 90-10. It could be 10-90. It could be 98. It could be 2. But the bottom line is this man's going to win, and I'm going to make sure of that. And nobody is ever going to give him a bum steer, Vince McMahon, Al Hayes. Nobody is ever going to give this man a bum steer while I'm around.
All right, well, let's take you now to some videotape footage, if we may. Brutus Beefcake in action. You will also see, of course, at his side, the brains behind the brawn, and brawn in his own right, Johnny Valiant. Let's go to the tape.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the ring at this time is the manager. Here he is, Luscious John Valiant. This contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. To my left, from parts unknown, weighing 273 pounds, Brutus Beefcake. His opponent to my right, from Auckland, New Zealand, at 242 pounds, Tony Garea.
Tony Garea, a big hand from this capacity crowd. Brutus Beefcake led in by Luscious Johnny Valiant.
Johnny Valiant back in the World Wrestling Federation. What a find.
I wish on your interview, Gene, that Luscious John would have let Brutus say a few words.
Oh, no, he was very adamant about it. He was not about to let him talk.
I know that. I said I wish he would have let Brutus.
I would have settled for even a zip code.
Yeah, right.
Could give me some kind of an indication of where the man is from.
Well, all he did was show his pearly whites and laugh, Gene, and parts unknown.
Parts unknown, all right. I've got a pretty good idea where this guy is from. Tony Garea, of course, from Auckland, New Zealand, located in the northernmost island of New Zealand. Auckland at the northern end, at the southern end, the city of Wellington.
Lovely place. You ever been there, Jim?
Never.
I have. What a beautiful spot. There in Australia, really.
As a kid, I was enamored with geography.
Look at this forearm apparel, Gene. If that's not illegal, I don't know what
it most assuredly is. And I cannot understand. I'm not going to sit and criticize World Wrestling Federation officials, because let's face it, men like Beefcake and Valiant are going to get away with anything they can. They'll try anything.
Absolutely. A few last-minute instructions here from the Luscious one.
Well, I've got to get my sunglasses back out.
It's kind of bright, isn't it, Gene?
Put them away after the airline trip earlier today. It is a little bright in here. Ooh. Strut your stuff. Oh, that's good. I'm impressed.
Yes.
Nice move on the rope.
It's all right to strut around like that, Gene. You better be able to wrestle, though. Luscious John still out here at ringside.
Now, this could become somewhat frustrating to Mr. Garea. Tony likes to get in there and get to it.
Tony very quick.
Boy, he looks good. You're overhearing some of the comments of Luscious Johnny Valiant.
Brutus now. Backstep. Now, look at that. We gave him a shot with that forearm right across the face. Beefcake unloading with heavy artillery on Tony Garea. Front face lock here. Obvious chokehold.
He tried to conceal those blows, too, by utilizing the left hand.
Brutus on a reversal, hard into the turnbuckle, and Tony Garea comes alive.
Downstairs, now to the upper torso.
Takes him over with a side mare, Tony Garea in control.
We have got action, and a mouth is running off right now.
The Luscious one looking a little concerned, and rightly so, as Tony Garea takes control of this match.
Well, he should be concerned. Johnny Valiant certainly, I don't think, anticipated this. Oh,
nice
shoulder
block by Tony.
Oh, look at this move. Beautifully done.
Headlock.
Well, Garea is on a roll. Excuse the play on words.
Garea's on a roll. I love it. Johnny Valiant just made a remark saying he's a little concerned about the referee. You better be concerned about Tony Garea. Garea, outstanding reputation here in the World Wrestling Federation, as well as an outstanding record.
He should be concerned about his tailor.
Brutus now making his way back to his feet.
Johnny Valiant, a very generous man, always the first to pick up a tab. He likes the nightlife.
Understand he has very deep pockets, short arm. Garea, nice shoulder block off the ropes once more. Beefcake down. Went for the backdrop. Another leapfrog.
Wait a minute.
High cross body. Referee right there. What did he wait for?
A little slow at getting down for the count.
Referee was right there. And he hesitated on dropping down and give that count.
Whoop, shoulder roll. Beefcake counters with head scissors to Tony Garea. Garea right on top of the ropes. Knowing Tony, I would suspect that he's going to make an attempt to get over to those ropes and get the hold legally broken. All right. Blatant choke on a part of Brutus Beefcake.
Right in front of the referee, too.
Ref, grab a set of...
Brutus unloading with those heavy 23-inch biceps on Tony Garea's neck.
And those very, very controversial striped apparel on the forearms of Brutus Beefcake. Beefcake's #1 cheerleader, Johnny Valiant, coming to life here on the sidelines. There's a left to the midsection. Garea doubles over. Set up on a whip into the ropes. A boot downstairs, and Garea certainly worse for wear. And there's a big right forearm. Shot to the midsection. The toe of the boot.
Garea being wound up now by Brutus. Hard into that turnbuckle. Brutus comes in with an flying elbow, but Tony Garea had already left the premises. Garea now catches him coming in with a right and another right.
Oh, look at that flurry on a part of Garea. A series of 4, 5, 6 right, 7. Count them. 8. Oh.
Brutus Beefcake now going for the ride. Drop kick by Garea, a little low right in the chest area. Brutus bailing out.
Wait a minute. Garea follows him out. And now all of a sudden, Brutus Beefcake turns into Carl Lewis. What is this?
Tony going to roll him up here in a small package.
1, 2, ref, come on.
No, he didn't get him. Garea off the ropes again. Over the top, and now, wow, what a knee. Did you see that? A knee right to the head, side of the head of Tony Garea. He's going to get him. He got him.
Very impressive victory. Very impressive victory, Mr. Valiant, Mr. Beefcake. I'm sure you were very proud of that victory over Tony Garea.
Very proud.
Beg your pardon?
Very proud. Mighty proud.
You know, an interesting question was brought up.
Beefcake proud.
Very good. An interesting question was brought up during the commentary of that match, in that earlier on, apparently, there had been an interview in which Mr. Beefcake and yourself were involved, and apparently Mr. Beefcake was not allowed to say anything. Is it possible for Mr. Beefcake to speak?
Why, you want him to talk? You want to hear him?
Sure, why not?
How much money you got? I'll tell you what, I'll do it for nothing. You want to hear him talk? Everybody want to hear Brutus Beefcake talk? What do you think, it's a ventriloquist deal here or something? Think I got him sitting on my knee or something? This guy's a trained athlete, man. You don't think I observed this guy over time? What do you think, I'm some kind of a schmuck? I'm going to stand here like some kind of a squirrel and bring some yo-yo here into the Worldwide Wrestling Federation?
Are we going to hear the man speak or not?
You want to hear him talk?
Say a few words. Say a few words. Are you going to say a few words to Mr. Beefcake?
Say a few words. Just 2 words.
Brutus Beefcake.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it, Vince? He said Brutus Beefcake. And Brutus Beefcake is the only 2 words Worldwide Wrestling Federation fans only should know, only should memorize, only should get behind. Ladies and gentlemen, Worldwide Wrestling Federation fans, Brutus Beefcake. All together now, Brutus Beefcake, because they are the only words of significance. They are the only words that you really should know, because this man's going to rewrite the annals of pro wrestling.
Mr. Valiant, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, that's okay.
And we would like for you to perhaps hang around a little bit and for maybe some more TNT. Mr. Beefcake, thank you very much for joining us. Most unusual talent, Brutus Beefcake, managed by luscious Johnny Valiant. We shall return with more TNT. Stay with us. We are back with more TNT, and in a moment we'll take you to a matchup that we will join in progress involving Special Delivery Jones and his opponent, truly a giant of a man, in 6 feet 10 inches and near 300 pounds of Big John Studd.
Oh, a man so difficult to scoop off his feet that lots of wrestlers have great difficulty in even approaching a nearness to beating him.
Well, speaking of scooping up off the feet, there's $15,000 for the first men that could body slam Big John Studd. Let's take you now to the tape.
Studd bleeding now from the forehead. Nasty looking thing, too.
Oh, that is a big gash in the top of his head there.
Boy, he took one look at that blood and immediately stopped SD in his tracks.
Yeah, that looks like an old wound that's just come agape again there.
Well, there's that old scar tissue we were referring to earlier on. Once you get it, in this particular sport, you don't get a chance to let it heal up properly, and an injury from one night easily carries over into another or into another weekend can cost you a match at any given time.
Oh, yes. And that scar tissue is nature's way of trying to protect you because it builds up into a thick amount of tissue of the skin. But in the case of John Studd there, that's a recent wound and it's opened again. Oh!
SD laying the headbutt right on it. The Brain continuing to point and issue instructions to Big John, but right now, I don't believe he's hearing anything. SD drops the big guy to his knees. Bobby Heenan said, stop fooling around with this guy and put him away.
Oh, he's not fooling around. He's sucking breath in now. He's trying to get something back into his head, a little more sensible than just that reeling and dizzy sensation he has in a...
Uh-oh, Heenan up the steps now. Referee counting him down in a hurry. As SD continues his onslaught with headbutts and punches to that already busted open forehead of Big John Studd. Tremendous camera shot here.
SD has a game plan and it seems to be very, very successful, Gino. You said they never come into the ring without a game plan, and they don't. And I think this is the obvious evidence of that.
Absolutely. Once he saw that patch on the forehead of Big John Studd, didn't take him too much time to go to work on it. Heenan once again up the steps. And SD continuing with the headbutts, and the big guy goes down.
Oh, he's down.
SD over for the cover. Forget it.
Yeah. That was like the Eiffel Tower coming down when he fell down. Now then, SD, don't become too overconfident. Just keep at him the same way as you did before.
Big John Studd reeling. Oh, he's going for the slam again. No, but he reached the ropes. There's Heenan, boy, who has some anxious moments here.
Sidetracked again by the thought of $15,000, and now he's paying the price.
SD outside.
He made just an unfortunate error there, just one tiny error of judgment in thinking he had Studd where he could slam him for $15,000, and Studd is bleeding profusely from the forehead, and it's just a shame that had to happen then.
Bobby the Brain Heenan laying a bad mouth on SD Jones. As only he can do it. SD's got to get back inside the ring. Doesn't want to get counted out here.
No, he's been hurt with that heavy knee that Studd gave him when he attempted to slam him there at the end. Those huge boots hammering away. I don't know what size they are. They must be size 20s. S. Jones is hurt. I think he's just ruining now the chance.
He should take a hike, Your Lordship, right around the other side. And,
yes.
You know.
He is taking a hike, and that's the one sensible thing he's doing. But he's coming too close to the ring.
He blocked that shot. Headbutt gives him a chance to get back in. Those headbutts really don't have the sting they usually have. Wow, he got caught there. He's having to deliver him with an upward motion. Oh, he dropped a big elbow right on his throat. It's all over.
Oh, that huge arm. That massive, great tree trunk of a arm did all the damage there.
Poor SD had to deliver those headbutts in an upward motion. Big John Studd bleeding profusely from the head. Let's go back in time if we can. And take a look at what constituted the beginning of the end here for Special Delivery Jones. There he hits him with a pretty good headbutt, but once again it's an upward motion instead of a downward motion.
Yeah.
Lays another one on him. Now SD going to the ropes. Maybe for a big one, but wow, did he catch that forearm right to the side of the chin and neck area, and his ear must be ringing now. Now look at this elbow crunch right on the chest and throat area, knocking the wind out of him. An easy 3 count. Let's go back up to the ring.
The winner of the match, Big John Studd.
That's John Studd, that giant. This was a tune-up for you, Hogan. I didn't even break a sweat tonight.
Big John Studd issuing the challenge.
You know, it looks like the $15,000 we have invested is going to draw a little interest because nobody's slamming this man. You want to try him, pal? You go ahead and try him. How about you, Monsoon?
Bobby the Brain.
How about all you ham and eggers? There's not a man walking the streets that can do it to Big John Studd.
That's an awful lot of money, and I'm sure he's going to have some takers, Big John Studd. Most everyone would like to have the $15,000 and certainly would like to have just the privilege, actually, of getting in the ring with a man such as John Studd.
Yes, but you know something? The psychological effect of having that $15,000, if you can possibly slam him, has been a good weapon in his favor. I mean the favor of John Studd.
We also have seen Big John Studd grab a few ropes as he was going up, saving himself from what would appear, at least, to be a certain slam. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with a little advice for the lovelorn. Yes, we are here with John Valiant, and who will hopefully give us a little bit of advice in terms of some of the questions and maybe some comments as well that people have written in over the course of these last couple of weeks. Dear TNT, I have a problem. After watching some of the fabulous physiques in the World Wrestling Federation, as far as the wrestlers are concerned, my husband pales in comparison. What's a girl to do?
Well, it all depends exactly. What do you call pale? You mean you pale milk? You're talking about a pale face with Bob Hoke and the old movie, or somebody talking about pale? Well, I'd have to assume, Vince McMahon, that pale would mean a comparison. Is that the terminology?
I'm sure that's what she means.
Well, then I would say that consider yourself very lucky. I mean, if your old man looked like a question mark or looked like a, like a pear or something like that, I would see no reason why you'd have a reason to call in here to this segment of TNT. Why don't you just be satisfied, mind your own business? Quit looking over this guy's shoulder and that guy's shoulder, worrying about the guy cutting the grass, worrying about the guy hitchhiking on the turnpike and stuff like that.
The grass is not always greener.
Exactly. Right.
Next question.
Bottom line.
Dear TNT, my wife and I emulate some of the wrestlers that we see on TNT, such as the Executioner, Mil Mascaras, and the Spoiler. Recently, I even put a mask on my wife, and I must say it really improved things. I would suggest that perhaps you read this to your viewers, and perhaps it should help some of them as well. What's your response to that?
Well, you talk about a mask, this and that. Maybe you're talking about somebody that unfortunately went through a serious burn. Maybe somebody had a tremendous acne situation where they feel the only way out of the life is through a mask.
I don't think that's what you mean. This gentleman means here at all.
She's referring to her husband, or her referring to the wife?
He is referring to the wife.
Oh, well, I don't blame you, because I've had several situations myself like that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a woman that wears a mask.
All right, next question.
Some of my best friends out there wear masks.
All right, next one. Dear TNT.
Right.
I'm different. Female, very attractive, wealthy,
right,
and very much into ugly men. Are there any World Wrestling Federation wrestlers that would fit the bill? If so, could you make an introduction?
Yeah, there's a lot of men that are ugly. Hulk Hogan's filthy ugly. There's no doubt about that.
What?
Well, Hulk Hogan's he's not exactly a Robert Redford or Brutus Beefcake type. There's no way.
What about Brutus Beefcake? How would he, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would Brutus be in your
15,
eyes?
20, maybe something like that. Because there's no way to measure a guy like that. Brutus Beefcake, there's no way to characterize a man like that. The guy is leaps and bounds. There's no way there's been nobody like Brutus Beefcake. That's a simple situation. So in other words, if you would say to me, Johnny Valiant, quite candidly, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is Brutus Beefcake? I'd say 15, 20, maybe 35.
Well, who would you suggest, really, other than Hulk? I mean, this lady...
That's ugly, you mean?
It's into ugly men, and...
Tito Santana, he's filthy ugly. Somebody like Junkyard Dog, Sergeant Slaughter, they're stone ugly. In fact, I heard Junkyard
Stone ugly?
Right. I heard he wrote a write about a Lonely Hearts Club, and they wrote back and they said, hey, we're not that lonely. That's what I heard now.
All right, next one, if you don't mind. Dear TNT, I have a fantasy. I have seen many different kinds of matches in the World Wrestling Federation, but my favorite fantasy is being involved in a 16 to 20 man battle royal. Do you think I'm unusual?
First, I'd have to say, what kind of a group plan do you have? Do you have open-end policy? Do you have a group coverage? Do you have a type of deal, a double indemnity? Do you have a disability clause in your contract? In other words, anybody who would want to encounter a 16 to 20 man battle royal, even a 10 man battle royal, they have to have kind of a death wish type situation, Vince. I mean, that's a situation where somebody's, number one, sick, number one, they're into pain, number one, they're not into longevity, number one, they have no loved ones or somebody they're waiting for them at the end of the shower.
I don't think that's what they mean when they say involved in a battle royal. I don't think that they really want to be physically involved in the over-the-top rope portion of the battle royal. I don't think that's what they had in mind.
What did they have in mind? They want to partake of it, or they want to see it, or they want to watch it, or what they want to do. I mean, clarify yourself.
I cannot speak for this person. I would assume that this person would, in some fashion, fantasizes about being in the ring with 16 to 20 men in some sort of their own concoction of a battle royal.
That's what I'm saying. Anybody that want to partake, that's like jumping into the Battle of the Bulge. That's like jumping into Iwo Jima. That's like jumping into Pearl Harbor. That's like jumping into the middle of the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? With no pads, with no helmet, with no cleats, with no game plan, with no nothing. Anybody would jump into a battle royal with 16 men, 12 men. I'm sick. That's why I say Brutus Beefcake.
We thank you. We thank you very much.
You don't have to thank me. I just took the time.
We'll return in a moment.
It's a tremendous show.
With no further ado, we would like to introduce to you the one and the only Junkyard Dog. Hello, big JYD.
Right. Lord, I like that sound, baby. I like that sound. I like that sound, man.
I like it. I like it.
Myself, man.
Something strange in the wrestling ring. Junkyard
Dog,
Dog,
man.
Well,
On the dog.
There's only one to call, I guess.
That's it. That's the only one.
Well, a lot of folks are calling that Junkyard Dog right now. I'll tell you have become one of the most popular athletes in the World Wrestling Federation, perhaps in the most shortest length of time than anyone ever to enter the ring.
You know, I've been very fortunate. A lot of help come from just understanding people and get along with people and, make no difference what race or color it is. I just mingle in, man. I never feel left out.
No, I wouldn't think you feel left out in anything, as a matter of fact. At 280 pounds?
I'm pushing pretty close to 293.
293?
Give or take a pound or two.
Well, now, there's a reason behind that, I understand, that notwithstanding your vigorous training regimen, but the intake in terms of what you eat is somewhat different than that of most other wrestlers.
You see, a lot of guys go on a high, somebody call a high protein diet, and I look at a lot of guys. When I come out of high school, I was the second largest athlete ever come out of the state of North Carolina. Out of high school, I weighed 280 some pounds, and I grew up in stuff like cornbread, black eyed peas, collard greens, kidney yams, ham hocks, you name it. I ate it.
Well,
pork salad. You know, people that probably don't know what I'm talking about. There are a lot of people that do.
Well, now, it obviously agreed with you.
Oh, man, you know, stuff like that. And then you got stuff like people in New York might call it wrinkle steaks, but...
A wrinkle steak? Now, what is
wrinkle steaks?
That's nothing that England would import it.
Oh, man, they got wrinkle steaks in England. I know, I call them, in my neighborhood, we call them chitlin. Hog chitlin.
What are those?
Wrinkle steaks. In New York, you might go to a restaurant and have a big stand that says wrinkle steak. But it's chitlin.
I still don't understand.
Oh, we'll taste it. I'll let you taste it.
Chickens, did you say?
No, not
chitlins.
It's close to, well, it's from the same yard as chickens, I guess, maybe. Not even the same yard.
No. You're talking about pork and poultry.
Right, but I mean, generally it would be around the barnyard.
Oh, yeah.
You know, type of...
We dance around out there. Sometimes we go around November, December, then pop goes the weasel.
Pop goes the weasel. Well, now, JYD, you've brought a little something for us, have you not?
Oh, yeah, I got some nice ladies in from a place called the Yellow Bow here in town, and they talked about, hey, I feel it. My intestines ringing a bell.
Well, what about the possibility of tasting some of these morsels you brought along with you?
I never thought we would get to that part. My stomach making an awfully funny noise.
Well, how about let's go over and take a look, huh?
Oh, let's go, guys.
All right, JYD brought along Alfred's going to...
Alfred,
yeah,
yes, my goodness.
It smells so good, I can't resist it. Well, I don't know about that. Wait till I taste it.
Well, now, over here...
After you, go ahead.
Now, after you, Alfred. Someone get the crane to help Alfred down, please. Very good. All right. Very good. Now, this is... You've got a microphone here. This is Venice and Eva. All right. Now, JYD, you were talking before, this is what you grew up on, right? This kind of food.
That's it, man.
Now, could you explain to us a little bit? Now, what is the, for lack of a better term, what is the green stuff out there?
I call it mustard greens, salad greens, collard greens. It's greens, man.
It's greens. Now, and what do we have mixed in there, Venice? Is something mixed in that greens over there?
Yeah, well, I'll explain to you what we have here. We have collard greens here.
All right.
And they're seasoned.
What are they seasoned with?
With our pork.
Seasoned with pork.
Bacon. Normally we bacon and the grease from the bacon.
And the grease from the bacon. All right, now behind the collard greens, it looks like, what is that actually?
You're not going to believe. These are chitlins.
These are chitterlings.
What he was called.
Chitlins.
Chitlins. Yeah. Well, that's okay. Chitlins. Now, and chitlins are one of your favorites?
They're one of my favorites. In New York, they call them wrinkle steaks.
Wrinkle steak. And Alfred, you've never heard of this wrinkle steak?
I've never heard of wrinkle steaks, chicklins, or colic pork.
Not chicklings, it's chitlins.
Oh, chitterlings.
They don't have that in England?
Certainly not. No,
okay, fine. All right. Now, what else do we have here? Now, behind that, we have, looks like...
candied sweet potatoes.
All right.
They're called yams.
All right, called yams. Now, over to the left over there, it looks like chicken of some kind. Is that what that is?
This is stewed chicken.
Stewed chicken.
Some people call it smothered chicken.
All
this
right.
is a chicken with gravy and onions.
Mm-hmm. Now, Alfred, that would be right up your line, I think, maybe. I'm not too sure.
Yes, that looks rather nice. The onions, one must be careful about those for social circumstances.
Social circumstances. Ever bother you, JY?
Don't bother me.
All right, fine. And then over on the right, what is that concoction of... Looks like peppers of some kind. What is that?
This is short ribs of beef.
All right.
You have green peppers and onions and your gravy in here.
Boy, that smells delicious. In front of that, what is that? It's like some sort of dessert, maybe.
Yeah, this is a peach cobbler.
Uh-huh. Now, one thing I think that, Alfred, you recognize, and that would be the white stuff.
Yes.
Back here on the back of the table, this white stuff, that looks like rice. Is that rice?
Oh, he knows about this.
Okay.
That's what it is.
And then from there, of course, we have, it looks like corn muffins.
Yeah.
All right, how about if we can try some of this? Eva, you got a few plates over there. Maybe we can try some of this. And Alfred, why don't you jump out there?
Okay, well, the rice, we had wild rice last week. Is this tamed rice? This week?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
Some wrinkle steaks, man. Let him try the wrinkle steaks.
All right, let him try some of that wrinkle steak.
Could I try one of those scones?
Scones?
Well, those things just there.
Corn muffins.
Corn muffins, not
Yes,
scones, Alfred, please.
Cornbread.
But why don't you go for the wrinkle steak?
Wrinkle steaks, yeah.
Wrinkle steak. Why don't you let him have some of that?
Wrinkle steaks.
That's it. All right. Let's get some of that good stuff up in there now. All right. Now, that get a lot of juice on that.
Too much, man. Save me a lot.
Save it all.
I'm just going to let him try.
Okay.
Your dog,
Alfred, why don't you try that to see if you like that first of all?
I always test these.
Put some hot stuff on. Put some hot sauce on.
It looks better than that.
Oh, wait a minute. We're not finished with it yet. We're not quite finished with it. Let me.
Something else?
The hot
on this?
This should be. Let me see if it. How does it smell hot to you?
What is it?
Does it
Is
smell
that,
hot?
Yeah, man.
That's not
ketchup?
too hot, is it?
Tomato sauce?
That's not bad, is it?
No,
Huh?
right down the line.
Let's have a little of this on.
Oh, just a minute,
on
just a minute.
Alfred.
Hey!
Oh, sorry, Alfred. That's a little. Well, it's a nasty little thing to get out of there, isn't it? Huh?
Don't you think that's plenty?
Yeah,
Right, well.
yeah, you load them up there, and they'll be on fire.
Okay, now let's see, Alfred. What did?
I'll take a small piece just here.
We're quiet now on the 18th Greenies, Alfred. Go ahead, Alfred. Very good.
Very unusual. And very, very hot.
Very, a little bit on the warm side, huh?
Do we have some water?
Unfortunately, that wasn't on the menu, Alfred. But
bring nothing to drink, Alfred.
all right, but here comes something for the dog now. Candied yams out there and the glip. Now, dog, you can jump right down on
Yeah,
that.
they don't have to worry about me.
All right, and this,
Tomato sauce on
No, that's not tomato sauce. Hot sauce, man. Pepper sauce.
and certainly not tomato for certain.
See that red stuff?
There we go. All right,
Let it
good.
there. There you go, baby.
I'd like to try some of that macaroni and cheese over there for sure. That looks great.
Boy, I bet the boys home crying the blues now.
Huh? How was it, JYD?
Just like eating at grandma's house.
Well, if Grandma could rear an individual to weigh 280 pounds by the time he's a senior in high school, I think everyone will be on
That's
this
it,
diet.
man. You think we can do this every week?
Well, let me ask you, do you think if, now when you were younger, I mean, you know, this is what you grew up on, this kind of nutrition, and it obviously agreed with you. Do you think that there's any hope for Alfred? What if he started now on this
Oh,
nutrition?
man, it make you feel like a new man in the morning.
Really will?
Yep.
I'd like to feel like a new man. I'd like to feel like a man even.
Vince, I'm not trying to be cruel or nothing, but you can keep talking to Alfred and the lady. I got to finish this stuff here for a while.
All right. I'd like to try some of that macaroni and cheese myself there. And,
Yeah, a bit too heavy there.
oh my goodness, look at this. And look at all the cheese in this thing.
Gosh, that looks good.
Now, we understand we have some ribs out here. Eva, you going to show us how to make ribs?
Yes, I'm going to prepare, which will not take long. Isn't that pretty?
All right, that's
I'm
pretty.
gonna
Sure, that's
prepare.
nice. And you're going to prepare the ribs.
Yeah, I'm going to prepare the ribs. Okay. Okay. Now, first, I'm going to take about a half a cup of water
Yeah.
and pour in the ribs so that it won't stick, you know.
That causes the ribs not to stick.
Right to the pan. Okay. Then you put the salt. Make sure you try to get enough salt on it. Give it a good
Right,
season.
it really is.
Okay.
All right.
And your black pepper.
Okay.
And just put black pepper.
Always keep
And
a woman around. Always
a
keep
little red pepper.
What's that now? Red pepper.
This is red pepper. Yeah.
What's the difference between black pepper and red pepper? Alfred, do you know the difference between black pepper?
Only one's red and one's black, I would assume.
I think there's a little bit
Yeah,
more
well,
difference.
red is a little hotter, and it gives it a better season.
This
is
a
They
little
say a lot
hotter
of people
too.
you like hot. Yeah, well, it's like hot sauce. Has
Here,
some
Alfred,
of
why
that.
don't you put it? No? Okay.
Now, the last ingredient I'm going to add is my sauce, which really gives it the taste
Mm-hmm.
and brings out. And we have our
Boy, that's great.
secret sauce, what I'm going to sprinkle
This is
over.
the secret junkyard dog sauce. Did Grandma bring the sauce up here?
I don't know, man, but it smells awfully good.
That's the secret. Junkyard dog sauce.
Boy, look at that. Something in there swimming, is it there? No, I guess not. It's jumping around a little bit.
Sauce.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you,
Hot
Okay,
sauce
make sure you
there.
do that. This is the secret of the sauce. This what gives it the taste.
You gotta keep
It's the
smelling.
that would
sauce.
definitely give it a taste for sure.
Okay.
And you put this in the oven, do you?
You put this in the oven.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then when it comes out, it's brown and golden and ready to eat.
It is.
Yes.
Now, Alfred, we'll have some of that hopefully when we come back, and we would like for Alfred to sample, if possible, some of the ribs. I think you really
Well,
you'll
if-
get off on the ribs, Alfred.
If there's some ice water as well, because my mouth at the moment is on fire.
Back here with what has to be the fastest cooking ribs known to Grandmama for sure. But they look awfully good. How about could we sample some of the ribs? Alfred, why don't you just jump out there?
Certainly, thank you. Is there a plate somewhere? Please.
No, just pick one up, Alfred. Come on, pick it up with your hands.
Yes, you have a knife and fork, please.
Use the phalanges, man. Your
Hands.
This
pardon?
is ribs, Alfred.
Ribs? Well,
You picked them up with your fingers, Alfred.
well, I don't. Do you have a finger bowl? No.
We have a finger bowl. Anybody in the control room have a finger bowl? We're fresh out of finger bowls, Alfred.
There you
Oh,
go.
that was nice. You put.
There's a nice rib. Thank you.
All right.
Got this less saucy part here. Wow, there. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
You have a bib for Alfred?
They're hot.
Oh, they're hot.
Mm-hmm. Well, they are hot.
What do you think, Alfred? Will this go over with Her Majesty or what?
Quite honestly, I think they would go over with anybody. They're rather delicious. Mm-hmm. Now I can understand why
You over
he's
there
290.
salivating, J.Y. They jump in there.
Okay, let me have some.
All right, just jump right in there and grab one of those.
Get the phalanges on them.
That's it.
Now look at all that. Now I'll have to try one of these myself. They are relatively warm. Naturally, I'd get the biggest piece out there. All right.
The brown stuff is nice too.
That is great, isn't it?
It's like being at home. Can we do this every week?
No wonder you were 280 pounds when you were a senior in high school.
I'm telling you, man. You need to eat this stuff. It's good for you.
I'm wondering what it's going to do for Alfred. Hopefully we'll find out later on. Right now, let's take you to indeed a dog fight. The Junkyard dog fight. Let's go to the tape.
Once again at ringside, this is Jack Reynolds along with Angelo Mosca. Angelo, should be a great match here.
It should be. All the dancing stopping, and now we're going to start some wrestling.
Paul Vachon, the crafty veteran, against the Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog's got a great background, too. Also, as a professional football player, played with the Green Bay Packers.
Paul Vachon weighing in at 295 pounds this week. And Junkyard Dog tipping the scales at 262. Your referee for this bout is Terry Yorkston. This is a one-fall, 30-minute time limit. Well, Vachon is out of the ring already. There's a good shot of the Junkyard Dog right now, waiting for Vachon to get back into the ring. Angelo Paul Vachon is, as I have mentioned at the offset of this bout, a crafty veteran.
He sure is a crafty veteran, and you saw what happened earlier in the situation. But Junkyard Dog can hold his own against the veterans as well as the rookies because he's an athlete, as you can see. Look at the powerful shoulders on this man, Jack.
Well, I tell you, that Junkyard Dog is really put together. Little hair pull in there. Raking the eyes. In fact, there he goes, raking the back right now.
I don't think you want to get a dog too mad in this situation.
Not at all. Junkyard Dog reeling right now. There's a tremendous open hand fist to the sternum area of Junkyard Dog. Vachon going to work right now. Now that's uncalled for, Angelo.
Well, sometimes you have to resort to all methods when you see you can't handle a situation. I know you might not agree, Jack, but I've done situations to get myself out of those.
All right, coming back right now, the Junkyard Dog. Now he's raking at Paul Vachon.
What's fair for the goose is fair for the gander.
Oh, biting the ear of Paul Vachon. Vachon in pain, and he wants out. He's out of the ring right now.
I think Junkyard Dog was having a little taste of Alpo.
Vachon coming back into the ring right now as referee Terry Yorkston does his count. And the Junkyard Dog goes to work again on Vachon. A whip into the ring. Look at this body slam. Holding him up there. Look at that.
Oh, the big thump.
That's it.
We are back, and almost all the ribs are gone. And JYD, you're smacking those lips.
I'm telling you, man, I bet I weigh 300 pounds now.
And surprise of surprises, Mikey likes it. His lordship now jumping down on some peach cobbler.
I love these cobblers. They're very, very nice indeed. The best food I've had, and probably the best music we've had, too.
Venice, we'd like to thank you and Eva very much for coming over from the Yellow Bowl and bringing home some grandma's cooking. Huh?
I'm telling you, I'm thankful to him. I like to thank all the people out there in TV land. Give thanks to the Lord and my little girl for giving me health and strength to even be here today. So we'll be with you guys.
And we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with more TNT. Stay with us. Lots more action to come in one form or another. Right now, we'd like to introduce to you a former co-holder of the Tag Team Championship in the World Wrestling Federation, Baron Mikel Cicluna. Baron, oh my goodness.
Hello, Vince. Nice seeing you.
Good to see you, Baron. You know Lord Alfred Hayes,
Who
one of
is
your
this
counterparts.
guy? What do you got here? Who's this guy?
Yes.
Good to see you last.
Have a seat,
Pleasure.
Baron.
Long time ago.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, now, Baron, when you were wrestling, you and be it individually or as a tag team, and normally, of course, your partner was King Curtis Iakea, who was lounging somewhere, all 300 and some odd pounds of him on the beaches over in Hawaii. But in any event, you fellows were definitely the aggressors. There's no doubt about that. Would you agree with that?
Yes, we were very active. We were very good. We worked real good together.
Well, now, that's, yes, indeed, I'm sure you did, but what I'm saying is that you were overly aggressive to many. They really thought you were overly aggressive and actually, from time to time, would bend the rules, if not break them. Would you agree with that?
No, we never break the rules. We were just tough and rough, and we take all comers.
All right, well, what we'd like to do is to take you back to some videotape footage. We'll see Baron Mikel Cicluna, King Curtis Iakea in a tag team match against the Chief Jay Strongbow, a young Jay Strongbow, and Sonny King. All right, now here, Baron, that's King Curtis in there, and Jay Strongbow. And Strongbow and Sonny King had really been going to town in the World Wrestling Federation, but certainly were much smaller than you and the Big King.
Yes, they were. They were very lots more than us, Vince.
And I guess you would say probably not as tough. Would you say that?
Well, I wouldn't think, no, they weren't too tough. They weren't too tough. Like, you can see King Curtis is very, look at him, he's very active.
All right, now here, yes, he's active, but then again, so are you. I mean, you both are working on the trapezius area of Jay Strongbow, double teaming. Now, I would think this would be considered breaking the rules, wouldn't you say?
Well, no, I don't think that's breaking the rules at all. That's the way the match is going. That's the way we went for it.
Well, now here, you continuing the hold that you both had earlier. Now, what do you weigh right around now?
Well, I weighed there 277.
277.
Yes, sir.
And Curtis was around, well, 300.
Over 300.
We'll just say over 300, huh?
Right, Al?
Yes, exactly. When you said you weren't breaking the rules, you were certainly taking advantage of them.
Well, yeah, we're taking advantage, but we're not breaking the rules, Al. Look at that. Is they breaking the rules over there?
Well, now there, Sonny King came in.
There you go.
Well, I guess maybe I see your point.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Vince.
What sort of magic do you think you and King Curtis had as tag team champions?
Well, we always agreed with each other. Whenever an argument, whatever he'd done, I say, okay, you're doing great. Whatever I'd done, he says, okay, Baron, you're doing great, and all that. And we always agreed, and we always stand in just right.
Well, here, that King Curtis coming in to help out a little bit, I think, and actually, you see Jay Strongbow over incapacitated, headbutt there, and you and King Curtis, what is going on here?
Nothing that you see, Vince.
It would appear to me that you really helped out King Curtis there, and
well, you know, I help. I used to help out quite a bit, yes.
Well, now, Baron, what do you do for yourself now? It seems to me that you are in peak condition as we look at you now.
Yes, I'll tell you what I do right now, Vince. You know this guy, Davey Johannan? Me and him will go to the gym.
Yes.
We push weights first, then 2 times a week we put the mat on the floor.
Right.
And we go at it.
Okay.
We wrestle, and we wrestle. And sometimes we get mad at each other because you say, how can you do this to me? You caught me by surprise, and we have an argument. That is why people say, why 2 guys get mad at each other in the ring? Well, naturally, because when you just do something, you do something to other guy, that's just gonna get mad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in Kansas City one time.
Yeah, and what happened?
I was there, and I was wrestling a guy, and here I go, and I went, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, this guy, he drop kicked me, grabbed me, body slammed me, up to the suplex. I said to myself, uh-oh, wait a minute. Out I go, out the ring I go.
Who was the guy?
Guess who? You're looking at him.
You're kidding me.
Put him
Lord
on,
Alfred Hayes?
You're looking
Oh,
at him.
my
Right
God.
over there.
Kansas City
Do you
Classic.
remember that, Lord Hayes?
I think you coloured it a little bit and made it sound nice. That was very, very gallant of
Do you remember it all, don't you? Tell
Yes,
me.
I do remember. Yeah,
I'm
absolutely
sure
right.
you, and I'm sure you remember your match with Lord Alfred Hayes vividly. The Potato Farmer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back as we continue with more Tuesday Night Titans. We're back with more TNT, and in a moment we're going to take a little walk down memory lane, if you would, and some of the more interesting aspects in the World Wrestling Federation and some of the review of some of the more outstanding wrestlers today.
Well, we're going to look at Nikolai Volkov, a big, impressive Russian, and a tag team partner that he's recently acquired, the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik we know as the world champion. Together they make a devastating pair.
All right, let's take you now to the videotape of the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov.
Well, almost, but with these guys, you're going to have a lot of almost, but never complete, because they're just too tough.
Huge Volkov in there. Volkov backed off by another man. That doubles up. Murto in the clutches of Volkov. Volkov going to work on Joe Murto. We want slaughter, some of the fans about ringside are chanting. They're definitely chanting it. Murto sets up, no he doesn't. Murto, very big man, trying to set up the Iron Sheik, and the Sheik saw that very easily. And the Sheik gets him up. Suplex down to the canvas. Tag is made. Big Volkov over the top rope. Murto. Oh my, look at this. No, he's not gonna. Look at that, unbelievable strength. That's 280-pound Joe Murto. Up all the way and down to the canvas. 2 and legs out of 3. Now that was impressive. You may not like this man's politics. You may not care for his heritage, but that was impressive. And Salvalo, with a slam. The Iron Sheik stomping into the chest area, and Bellomo has yet to be able to make a tag to his partner. That obviously has already taken its toll on Salvatore Bellomo.
No question about it. So far, he's just been pounded and pounded. In fact, right now, if they that's a
nice maneuver indeed. Tag is made now. Lombardi stepping through as the Iron Sheik. Lombardi whipped to the ropes. The Sheik waiting for him. Shoulder block, down goes the Sheik. Off over the Sheik now. Right back at him. Oh my. And Lombardi right into the foot of big Nikolai. Volkov with a kick to the sternum area. Lombardi now off the rope. Ooh, my. Volkov. Ooh. 300+ pounds right into the back twice now. Volkov enjoying his work. Oh. And the frequent tag, Lombardi just trying to get to the corner. Trying to get out of the grasp of the Sheik. Oh, no, look at this. Camel clutch. The Iron Sheik with the hold that took him all the way to the championship. The Iron Sheik with the dreaded camel clutch. Once he gets you in that hold, you're not too likely to come out.
All right, front face lock.
Yeah, that is a choke. And he does make the tag to Madden.
Madden sort of reached in and forced the tag off.
Punches like that, too.
Look at this. Now there's that big boot of Nikolai Volkov. Grabs him by the head.
Yeah, you've really got to lay these punches in on this Russian to have any effect on him. I mean, you just can't go in there and mess with him.
Parliament. He comes in, tries to pick up where Madden set Volkov up, and look at the comeback of this Volkov. He can really come back out of a situation, as you just saw.
Yeah. Well, old Parliament there looks like he left the hit for the chicken house.
Look out! And a tag off. The Iron Sheik was screaming for the tag off. He wanted to get in there. Setting up Roddy Parliament.
Setting him up for that clutch there, and this is very painful, Rogers, as you may know.
He's going to put him away. He's got him all set up for it. All the way back. The back does not bend that way normally. The referee calls for the bell, and a submission by Roddy Parliament. Brian Madden came in to try to change the complexion of the ending of this match. Here are your winners. As they claim victory right now, the referee said, "You did it, leave him alone." All right, let's go to the ring.
The winners of this bout, the team of Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik.
Yes, I'm sure we'll be seeing quite a bit more of that tag team combination and quite a bit more of those two individually. They both are on a real tear as of late.
They're both aggressive, and I must say, looking at those cuttings there, the Russian was really, really aggressive, and I think that the Sheik is back to World Championship form.
Both of them certainly knocking on the door of the championship. When we return, ladies and gentlemen, a word about the next edition of TNT and a most unusual occurrence.